What is up, YouTube? How is everybody out there doing today? I'm sure you guys have been waiting for this video for a while. And, well, here it is, guys. Here it is. First, we're going to look at Ghost on the trailer. Car, I'm not going to lie, guys. The car did amazing. I got to really thank my one buddy. He let me borrow his ET Street Radio Pros here. They did a phenomenal freaking job. I think this is going to be the tire. This is going to be the tire that I'm going to go with on my drag setup, unless I buy his drag setup. He actually has the matching front race stars for this vehicle for his F body. He has an F body as well. It's not quite done. That's why he allowed me to borrow his wheels and tires. But he has a whole set, and he's thinking about selling them, and I'm thinking about buying them, but I'm not sure quite yet. There's a few other things I want to address on the car first. But as you guys know, the car went down to Cecil County Raceway on my birthday, November 18th, 2018. And I have to tell you guys, this thing franking ran its ass off. Ran really good. We did have a few little issues right in the beginning of the day when I did start running. The very first issue was I did not have a catch can for my radiator. It was just kind of going to the ground, which is a big no-no for the track. So we ended up fabricating a bottle to make it work and make it safe for the track. That way it doesn't leak all over the track and everything of that nature, which it did not, thank God. The second issue I had with the car when we were down at Cecil County, Maryland, was the fact that I had an oil leak. I actually got pushed off the track because of an oil leak. And you'll see that video right here.
Taking oil, brother.
Ah, come on. So they pushed me off the track. I drove back, went back to the staging lanes, or not back to the staging lane, but back to the pit area, and tried to figure out where this oil leak was coming from. Wasn't really sure where it was coming from or what was going on. I shut the car off. It wasn't leaking with the car off, but for some reason we found out that with the car running, it was leaking. So basically the oil was coming from the drain tube on the turbo. It somehow became loose, and we just had to tighten it up. Problem solved. So that took care of all that, which was thankful and good. Then we went out and we started making passes. So here's basically what we did. And I'll show you these passes all in order with the burnouts and everything. You guys can just kind of watch it, and then we'll talk about some things afterwards. So the first pass was a 1/8 mile pass. I just wanted to feel the car out, see what the car would do. And that was it. I didn't know if this car was going to slide all over the place. It is running a stock suspension setup still. We filled the airbag in the back up to 30, which the car still seemed to want to twist going down the track, which was really kind of sketchy, to be honest. So the first one was a 1/8 mile pass. The second one was a kind of a full 1/4 mile pass, and then the third one was kind of also a full 1/4 mile pass with a very huge bog in the beginning when I launched. I tried to launch a little bit higher on the third pass, and that didn't work out so well. And the car actually bogged really bad. Actually, the car bogged on all 3 passes, but the car bogged so bad, and then it picked back up again, and it started going. And that was the most interesting run, and I'm going to show you some things that explains why that run was literally the fastest, fastest run of my entire life, which is really kind of funny, to be honest, guys. It's really kind of funny. You guys might make fun of me about it, but I don't really care. I had a good time. I learned a lot about the car, and for it being down for 6 years and not racing it for 6 years, and racing a stick car for 6 years basically, and having 1,000+ horsepower at the wheels, as you guys know from my previous videos, I had a fun time, and I learned the car, and that was basically what that whole event was for me. The whole track day for me was. It would have been nice to punch out a real good time. I'm sure I could have if I would have raced a little bit more, but I just didn't have the opportunity to, and that's totally understandable. Sometimes it happens. A lot of people were braking. Anybody that was there can tell you, everybody was braking axles, drive shafts. So there's one guy did a wheelie, came down, hit the oil pan, and then drug his car all the way down the end of the track without pulling over, and took oil all the way with him. That was like an 1.5 hour, almost 2 hour cleanup session. It's a big pain in the ass for everybody. Everyone was very upset about that. But for the time that I spent, you know, the 3 runs I was very happy with that. So basically, you know, I got the slip in my back pocket here, guys. Right here's the slip. But basically what we'll do is we'll go ahead, and before we show the slip here, this slip, this is my final run where I got into a little bit more, but not very much. I was still pedaling the car down the track. And I'll show you that. I'll prove that to you as well. But let's watch the burnouts and the going down the tracks. And you guys can check that out right now. It'd be pretty cool. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you guys enjoyed that little bit of footage that I had. I wasn't really talking or doing much of anything, to be honest. I just wanted to log my runs, because I was actually logging with HP Tuners, which I'm going to show you guys here in a minute what I was logging and how I was logging everything. I was logging air fuel, logging boost, all that fun stuff. The boost was kind of acting weird on the scanner, not in the car, so I don't think I have the histogram set up right for that. I got to redo that again. But basically, the the slowest, fastest pass for the car on that day was a 13.3, guys. Yeah, and I know what you're thinking. A 13.3, Andy, it makes 1,000 horsepower. How the hell did you do a 13.3? Well, to be honest with you, like I said, I was just shaking the car down, learning it, and feeling what the car would do. But my 60-foot was a 4.045 on the very, very last run, the one that I logged. And you guys are probably laughing at that too, but that's okay. You guys can laugh at that. I will tell you, at the end of the track, my 13.344 quarter-mile pass netted me a mile per hour of 139.92. My 8th mile pass was a 106 mile per hour, 9.7. So that gives you a little bit of an idea what's going on here. So from the 8th mile to the quarter, I picked up 34 mile per hour, almost 35 mile per hour, which is freaking crazy. It's crazy to gain that much on the top end of the track. The first beginning of the track was shitty, and that was my own fault. That was my own doing. I don't have a two-step on this car. I don't have boost control in this car. Like, the minute I take off, like, it's all up to my foot game and how to play it. And like I said, I'm still learning to drive the car and everything. Now, the one thing I did discover was this car has a lot more left in it, and I'm going to show you guys why I know, or how I know this car has a lot more left in it. I was scanning the run, so if you look right here, these are my shifts right here. So this is 1, 2, 3rd gear, and 4th gear. Now, if you guys pay attention to this little green line down here, this green line is my TPS. And we're going to go over here to TPS. You can see it right there. TPS 100% for first. And then as you can see, I'm still in first gear. I'm still moving. And it starts dropping. What I discovered, as you can see, it's dropping to 64%. And then I let off to shift gears. Right there is my shift. And then I'm back in it. So I'm back in it at 56% TPS. And this is accurate readings. And as you guys can see, it's dropping, and then I shift again. So now there's third gear. Third gear, I go back up to 52%. We'll go back again, and you see it slowly dropping, slowly depleting down all of third gear. And then fourth gear, I shift into fourth gear right here, and I get to 63% throttle. And you can see it fluctuates around a lot in fourth gear. That's me pedaling it basically in fourth gear. You guys can understand why I ran a 13.3 at 100 and almost 40 miles an hour. I didn't realize, I'll be honest with you, I didn't realize I was pedaling. I had no idea that I was lifting slightly off the gas. And even slightly off the gas is going to be a 70%, 60% opening for the pedal. So it explains a lot to me, and I learned a lot from that day, which, you know, made me happy. And like I said, I got to experience the car and see what the car feels like and how it reacts and how it drives and how it pulls and stuff like that. When you're dealing with this much horsepower, you can't just go out there and go balls to the wall, especially with a 6-speed car. You might be able to do that with an automatic, because an automatic, all you're doing is putting it in drive and just paying attention to what's in front of you. But when you're driving a 6-speed, you're pressing the clutch in, you're pressing the gas in, you're shifting gears, you're making sure you hit third gear and not like go back into first gear or bend and shift forks or anything like that. This is a built transmission, by the way, as well. So that's kind of what I figured out. I was kind of disappointed, to be honest. I was like, man, a 13.3, but at 140 miles an hour, like, how the hell is that even possible? How do you do that? How do you run a 13.3 at 140 miles an hour? That's impossible. And then when I started looking at my scans, the last scan that I did of the car on that run, I noticed that I was literally lifting on the pedal, and that was basically what was causing me to run a 13-second pass. Which is pretty funny, guys. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty funny. There was one pass before, it ran like a 12.2 at 132 or something like that. I didn't keep that pass or log that pass or anything. I just logged the last one. I logged the 8th mile on the last one, basically. But yeah, like I said, I mean, I'm pretty happy with the outcome. I know this car has a lot more left in it, and by me looking at the scanner and the proof that there's a lot more left in it, I already know. Considering I did 140 miles an hour in 13.3 seconds, that tells you something, guys. It tells you that this car is no joke. Like, it's gonna freaking move out. It's gonna do a lot faster than this once I get going here. I do plan on going to the track here next Saturday, hopefully. If I can, if the weather's nice. They're calling for rain, but I am planning on doing that. That's why the car's still on the trailer. I'm just going to leave it on the trailer and take it back down and learn some more. Little tidbit of advice that I'd like to say just before we end this video is the Blue Turbo Viper. He was down there as well, and he was racing. And I'm not going to tell what his time was, but I will tell you, he told me he was on 15 pounds of boost, so it was a lot more than what he had, or what the car had when it was with me with the previous owner. That car has my built T56 in it, cryogenically treated and everything. Pretty much the same exact build as this transmission in this car. And he was ripping through the gears down there, and he had not one problem. And I know there's a lot of people that were talking about the T56 on the dyno is going to be a different animal or a different setup when it's on the track. Like, it might break on the track as opposed to being on the dyno. Well, I'm just here to say I'm very proud of the T56 build in this and the T56 build that I did in the Turbo Viper as well, because they're obviously now holding up to track passes, and that's a damn good thing, you know, to be able to build a T56 that holds up to track passes when you're making, you know, over 1,000 horsepower. And that Viper's definitely making over 1,000 horsepower easily on 15 pounds of boost. So I congratulate him on his times. I don't know if he's going to watch this video or not, but I do congratulate him on his times as well. It was cool to meet him finally and take a look at the car again. It's been a while since I've seen it. But other than that, guys, that's pretty much the news of the hour. We're definitely going to be getting faster with this car. It's just going to take some practice. I definitely need some suspension because I am running a stock sway bar, and I'm running stock suspension on this car pretty much, except for some three-way adjustable old comp engineering shocks that are probably shot, to be honest. So it's pretty crazy that I'm running a car this much horsepower with a stock suspension setup. I need some AFCOs or some QA1s, or there's a company called Viking that I've heard of. I heard that they're very good with suspension, and I'm going to have to hook up with one of those companies and see if I can get some shocks for this car to make it do what it's supposed to do on launch properly, and also get a two-step back in the car as well. I'd had it before, and I sold it years ago, and, well, I need another one now. So I need to get me either a MSD two-step that I can make some boost off the line, or a Lingenfelder two-step or something of that nature to help as well. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the footage, the little bit of footage that I have, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Please keep a lookout for more videos of Ghost going down the track. We are definitely going to make at least one more track attempt with this car before the end of the season, and then we're going to be back at it hard in March for like Texas 2K. I'm planning on going to Texas 2K with the car, and Cecil County, Maryland. We're going to be down there, and we'll be down at Capitol. Couple other tracks. It's going to be freaking awesome running the piss out of this thing and making it go the times that it needs to match the mile per hour that it's matching. So hopefully it all works out. But other than that, guys, we're out of here. Don't forget to check us out on Instagram, Diablo Formula Racing, and then also on Facebook at Diablo Formula Racing. Deuces, guys.